I think everybody, I would assume that everybody thinks that he doesn't actually believe some of the stuff he says, right? Monday Night Football hosts and sports hosts in general. It's weird to me that it's like you need to have played nowadays, or else you don't know the game. I've always thought that was weird. Players can give perspective because we've never played in the NBA or whatever before. But there's also people that go to school to talk about it, or like have worked in that for a really long time. So like, to me, you could be the best basketball player in the world or the best football player in the world, but that doesn't make you much more qualified than me to talk about it while it's happening. You know what I mean? Like they always want like Booger McFarland. Jason Witten was a bad analyst. You know, they both did it for like a year or two. So like I feel like we need to like break this. Yeah, we need to break this like cycle of like, oh, look at this shiny like I don't really even want Peyton Manning in there. They're gonna pay Peyton Manning like $20 million to probably be like chuckling around up there and probably not say anything that's that important. At least, I mean, Tony Romo's good, so I guess it's your, you know, you have like a 50-50 shot. Maybe. Yeah, Witten was really bad. He didn't say anything. Like he just kind of stood in there like, hi, I played football. So Romo is great. So like I guess if every once in a while if you hit on one, then you really hit. But like most of my favorite analysts in sports, some of them played, but they didn't necessarily have to be like the best player of all time. Like, I think that they should give it to Riddick. The ESPN said that they're going to do it internally. So play people that already work there. So Pat McAfee was in there. Dan Orlovsky was in there, which actually kind of goes against what I was just saying because he was a really bad quarterback. So he's not going to get it because he was a really good quarterback. But I like Riddick because I think he has a really good... he's good at talking and saying something that other people don't understand. You know? Like Booger would just kind of be in there like saying something, oh, slinging it around. He's got some wheels, you know what I mean? Like stuff that we can see. We can see that. I feel like I want something a little bit lighter. That's kind of why I want them to try Pat McAfee in there. Because I feel like sometimes it's almost like it's too serious in the booth. And we need to lighten it up a little bit. You know what I mean? We're having fun. We're playing sports. Let's keep it light, keep it fresh. I don't know. I feel like I tend to like people that are really practiced in what they're doing and not necessarily, love Zach Lowe. He's not like a sideline guy, but yes, exactly. Somebody that like loves what they're doing. They don't necessarily have to have done it at the highest level, but if they really understand it and are really good at speaking and communicating it, I think that that's the best. John Shambi does baseball, and I don't think he ever played, but I think he just has like a really good voice, and he's really good at speaking and calling the play-by-play. And like the NBA guys too, like Mike Breen and all those. Like I like listening to those guys more than I like listening to the not all the ex-players, like the Charles Barkley and Shaq and them. They figured it out, but I want a journalist to be a journalist and be practiced at what. I think that sometimes to me, I think that's more important. As long as they know the sport they're talking about really well as well. That's what I want. No, I didn't see Jalen Rose's funny tweet. I like that journalists are kind of like going at each other more recently. I mean, it's not hard to go at Skip because he just kind of does stuff just to do it and kind of like push buttons. I'm like, that's fine, but I don't like how. I understand that they're playing the game and they're getting ratings or whatever. I just don't like whenever people who host like sports shows say things that they don't actually believe in, which I think is a lot of them now, because otherwise there wouldn't be a good show, because then we wouldn't have any like debate back and forth, which I guess is fine. I just don't like, personally, I don't like watching anything like that, and I think that Skip does that a ton. He just like holds on to this ground that's like dumb ground to hold on to, like making fun of LeBron for stuff that nobody cares about. Yeah, or like Jason Whitlock. Like he just is like so entrenched where he is, and it's like, God, come on, dude. Like everybody knows that you don't actually think that. You're just saying it. I would assume that everybody thinks that he doesn't actually believe some of the stuff he says, right? Most people think that. Maybe I'm wrong.